welcome back, everybody, to our second episode of the Stay Good podcast. My name is Mason.
I'm Danny.
And we are very happy for you guys to be here with us today. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that listened either on YouTube or on Spotify to our first episode. It is greatly appreciated, and we did receive a lot of good feedback from you guys and a lot of constructive feedback from you guys on things you might want to see going forward. So very, very excited.
A lot of collab requests.
Yeah, a lot of collab requests.
So many people that want to be in this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we're gonna put you guys, but yeah, we'll get some bleachers down here, and we'll get everybody set up with a nice setup here. We'll get 16 more mics so that everybody can come and hang out with us. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for all the support and all the feedback and everything. We really appreciate it. I also did want to warn you guys throughout this podcast, we got new cats, so they're kind of getting acclimated still, so they really don't know where they go. They just go wherever they want.
The cats can go wherever the cats want to go.
Wherever they want to go. Cats by 90. So if you guys see them in the podcast or on the webcast, if you're watching on YouTube, just say hello to them for me. But we can get started here. As we said before, we kind of want to structure these podcasts kind of loosely and just sort of talk about topics that we actually enjoy. And maybe some things that we see around the car community or that we pick up on from like other influencers or anything like that. So one of like today's first topics is, why do we see so many people in the car community leaving the car community?
Especially recently.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where you see somebody make this build and they put a lot of work into it, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, you see it posted for sale. And a lot of the times it's them talking about, hey, like, I want to get out of the community. I don't want to do this stance life anymore.
Yeah.
And sort of some questions that people have around it, and maybe like my point of view on why they might be leaving, maybe Danny's point of view. And then we'll just go down that rabbit hole from there.
We'd like to hear, like, in the comments and stuff, we'd like to hear your guys' point of view. Maybe why you guys think that they would be leaving for, some reason. So we're always open to hear what you guys think as well.
Yeah, I do want to make it a very big point here that our opinions are just opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the time, they're not correct.
They're also, they're not good.
So definitely don't take what we're saying to heart. So it would be interesting to see sort of what you guys have in mind when it comes to that kind of thing. But I guess, would you like to go first? Or you sort of want me to go first, and then?
Yeah, go ahead and lead it off.
Okay.
I'm sure you have a few points that you've already thought about that I can kind of break off into.
Yeah, of course. So for me, there's a few different areas that I think why people in the car community are sort of leading the car community. And when I say car community, I want to say like just like the stance world. Sort of, it's a different facet of, I think, the car community. But in this specific instance, I just want to focus on just like the stance community. So one of the main reasons is probably just a lot of toxic people. As we sort of touched on in our last podcast, it's sort of a community where there is definitely two sides of the coin. There's one side where the community can be very supportive and very helpful, and it could be one of the best communities in the world, and everybody is very accepting of other people and other like styles and everything. But then there's the other side where people always have opinions, and a lot of the times the opinions are negative.
And there's also people that don't understand how to take people's opinions as well.
That's true.
Like for instance, at like Slam Dunk Gatlinburg, there's a guy walking around with a rep wheel counter, and people got really upset about it. But personally, I think he was just trying to have fun with it, just trying to pass time. Maybe he had a car in the show. I don't know him personally. Maybe he had a car in the show. He was just trying to pass time or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can definitely see the different spectrum of that. Like you could see people that took it really negatively, and you saw the people that were actually
like upset about it.
Yeah.
I don't know in that space, I feel like there's a right and a wrong time to do everything as well. And in that particular instance, the right time to walk around with a sign that says rep wheel counter, that was not the right time to do it. And there was much more. You could definitely see his intentions when he posted these photos and told Slam Enough to get it together and stuff like that. his intentions were to point out how many people in the show had rep wheels. And I mean, we could be like literally every other podcaster and go on a tangent about real versus rep wheels or whatever our opinions are on the matter. It's not worth it. I don't care. I mean, everyone's going to have a different opinion. You could have a different opinion than I might, but it's just one of those conversations.
Whatever looks good.
I just.
You can have some XXR.
Oh God.
That might be a stretch.
That might be a stretch.
That might be a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, I mean,
it's just not worth it.
wheels,
Yeah. It's. I don't want to get on that tangent.
It's too deep.
It's way too deep, and it'll hurt a lot of feelings, and no one has the same outlook on that as another person, and there's no right answer. So, beyond that, in that instance when that guy was walking around with a rep wheel counter, he was deliberately trying to rustle some feathers, and mission accomplished. That's what he sought out to do, and that's what he did. And again, one of those instances where that could be the wrong side of the coin, where he was trying to stir people's emotions up. And there's just in my opinion, there's no room for that. I mean, I giggled. I mean, I thought, okay, like, that's funny. But being on the other side of it, being a show promoter ourselves, where we put on events and shows and meets, if someone was doing that at my show, it would infuriate me, because there's a lot more to the shows than just the cars. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is it's not all about the cars, it's about the people as well.
And you gotta think that these shows, it's not even just affecting the promoters or whoever's putting it on, in that instance, Slammed Enough. It's affecting the people that, build that car, spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
And
sweat, tears into that actual build.
And it also affects the people that didn't go to the show, that maybe next year they were like, I'm going to focus on my build, I'm going to try to push to get into the show next year. It could affect those people, because they're like, I don't want to go to that show if people are going to just be picking apart my car. Someone was putting stickers on people's cars with like opinions and like things they need to fix, like fix your wrap, blah blah blah. Like, what is the point? And it's in that instance where I just get so upset, because if that happened to one of my shows or one of my events, I would be really upset, because again, it goes a lot further than the cars. It's a lot more about the people. Right. And I keep saying, like, respect the builder, not the build. You don't have to like what they're doing. You don't have to like their build. You don't have to like their style and everything like that. But respect that they actually have the willpower to go out and work for something that they want in order to, like, portray that image on their car or whatever else it is. But again, that's just something I 100% would not support.
We threw Mason off the deep end there. He started getting rolling with that.
Yeah, you really did. And I mean, I really don't care, because I mean, that's sort of what I want this podcast to be. Yeah. I want us to be able to just go back and forth. And if we go on a tangent, I'm sorry. Like, we're going to talk about it, because outside of the podcast, we're just going to say the same shit anyway.
This is just fun for us. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I feel like that's a great segue for the toxicity. Nice. In the car community, as to why, like, someone might leave. Another thing could just be they grow into a different motorsport. So in the car community, I would say drifting and like drag racing and other things like that. I still would consider that within the car community. And I feel like a lot of the times people just they get a taste of drifting, or they get a taste of something else, and that's something that they want to pursue. So they go after it and they push for it, and they might find that they really enjoy drifting, or they really enjoy drag racing a lot more than building a car to go into a show.
And that's totally okay.
Yeah, and
everybody has their own things that they like. Sorry, we have one of our cats down here just pulling on cords to headsets and stuff like that.
His name is Burton.
The other one is Burrow.
Yes. Anybody that likes Psych out there, it's from Burton Guster. So you'll get the reference if you understand Psych. But if you don't, watch Psych. Great show.
But yeah, I mean, people get into different facets of the whole car community, and that's a very simple thing that you can kind of get wrapped up into. You go to the car thing that we have at GoCare with Drift Indy. You start falling in love with drift cars, and all of a sudden you're selling your stance car to buy a drift car. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I started in the stance scene. I built a stance car, and then I bought a drift car, and then I built a drift car, and then I started drifting. I personally love doing both. Like, I loved taking my drift car down, or my stance car down to Gatlinburg, and having an amazing time down there. But then I also love.
Sorry. Sorry, you guys out of frame can't even see it. The cat just climbed up to the ceiling on a pole. That's on me. Keep going there.
All right. Anyway, but yeah, and then I also just love going down, like going drifting, and both of those things I love doing. But there's a lot of the times people aren't as fortunate to be able to do both, and I understand that. And in my mind, when people leave the stance community, I'm like hoping it's not the first reason I mentioned, and it is the second reason. Like they're just trying to pursue something else that they love, and it's not because they're getting discouraged because of the other people in the community, and then that's why they're leaving.
Right.
So, I mean, those are sort of the two main ones that are on like the tip of my tongue. Like, did you have anything else that you might want to add?
I mean, just to dive deeper into that second part, like, there's not every car community is like the one that we are trying to, like, initiate into this, like, region or whatever. Like, not all car communities are like that. And, like, we went, to go back to what we talked about the first week, not everybody is blessed to have this kind of community locally. So, I mean, I do understand that way where different car communities can be toxic or whatever. And it does suck. It's awful. That's what we're completely trying to prevent here. So.
Yeah. What's I mean, outside of, I would say, like Slam It Off, is there any other car shows that you would want to attend just to sort of see how they are and like how they operate and everything like
I
that?
want to go to WECFest.
Okay.
In Chicago. Definitely want to go there.
I feel like I would want to go there if it wasn't in Chicago.
You don't like Chicago?
I don't like Indiana's like roads through Indy,
That's
and
true.
then
When we went to Indy.
oh my god, and then the Chicago's even worse.
Yeah,
It's just so congested, and the roads are just horrific. So I just don't.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
I don't see myself wanting to go there. I mean, I've always heard that the sort of the show itself is an amazing show. But that's definitely, I mean, I would agree that's something I would want to go to, but I would hope they would go to like, I don't know, somewhere around here. Not around here, but like, I want to say Tennessee because I love Tennessee.
Tennessee's just awesome.
But we just keep going to Tennessee for the same reasons.
We're going to end up living in Tennessee.
I wouldn't mind living in Tennessee, but oh my god, I really hope these cats, all that background noise, isn't just destroying what we're putting out because I can hear it.
I can hear it too.
They're just attacking things. They
The cats are kittens.
they weren't down here all day,
Yeah.
and then
Now they're down here because we're down here. And
Yeah.
There is a tunnel that they're currently running through, just causing havoc.
yeah,
This kitten is 2 months.
yeah,
old.
just 2 months old.
So he's all over the place. He gets a quick little 15-minute nap in him, and he wants to run to Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's all over the place.
Yeah, speaking of the other cat, Burrow, named obviously after the Cincinnati Bengals and
King of the North.
King of the North. If you guys don't know who we are, and if you guys new here, we're big Bengals fans, and we really enjoy watching Bengals games and going. I went to my first Bengals game this year.
We're going to the. We already got our tickets for the playoff game.
We are going to the playoff game as well.
We did clinch that. The AFC North. So
Yeah.
got ourselves a home playoff game. We get to go watch Burrow and the boys down at Paul Brown. So
I mean,
it'll be fun.
in me personally, I think it's really healthy to, outside of just the car community, have more hobbies
Right.
than just cars. I mean, a lot of the times cars can be pretty discouraging, and you're working on it and something breaks, and your 30-minute job where you told your girlfriend you'll be over 30 minutes from now for dinner turns into a 7-hour ordeal where you're
Yeah, you're pissed off at the car. The girlfriend's pissed off at you.
Yeah.
It's just a downhill slope. You don't
Yeah.
want to get into it.
Yeah, so it's nice to have other hobbies outside of the car community and just outside of cars in general that you can sort of focus on. And like me personally, I love watching football. I love watching soccer. I'm the Bengals fan, Chelsea fan, big Reds fan. I like going golfing. That's really fun. It's not fun, but it's enjoyable. I suck at golf, so it's pretty hard. But and then like snowboarding and like just all these other things.
See, I want you to get me into snowboarding at some point.
Snowboarding's bad. It hurts.
Oh.
Well,
Maybe
you shouldn't snowboard, or you shouldn't ski. First of all,
No.
no.
I skied once.
Wow.
It was a really crappy, like plastic set of skis.
Okay, that's where you went wrong.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, you shouldn't ski if you're listening.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
Well. So big boy on skis does not work out too hot.
No, if you're listening to this, it's just so much cooler if you go snowboarding.
Yeah.
But it's a lot to. They say it's harder to learn, easier to master, and then like skiing is easier to learn, harder to master. I might have them flipped. It's very difficult, and it took me probably 3 or 4 times going to actually finally be able to like ride on both sides, like the front lip and then the back lip. But I mean that's something I would love to do more this year, but it just hasn't been cold enough to be able to even do
We
anything.
got our first snow on the ground today.
Literally today.
So, yeah. It's been weird. It's been really, really weird around here. We go from what was it, 2 weeks ago? We had 65.
Yeah.
Almost 70 degrees. That was on Christmas.
Yeah, well, it gives you this false hope because you're like, because we're like knee deep in like putting together like our schedule for next year. So working with different venues, trying to come up with different shows for you guys, and then also locking in meet dates. And it sort of gives you that false hope, like, oh man, like it's getting warm. Should I start working on the cars? Should I start getting ready for the season? And then today it is 12 degrees outside and probably 2 inches of snow at this point. So. But yeah, if you can kind of try to find yourself something to do outside of just cars, I would highly recommend it. And if you ever need anything to do, freaking ask me. I mean, I do a lot of different things, and there's
got room for more people.
Yeah, we got room. Yeah, if you want to come snowboarding with me, let me know. We can come snowboarding, and it'll be a really good time. But
I don't do very fun stuff. I go to Bengals games. I go to Bengals games.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to a Bengals game,
You bowl?
Yeah, not very good.
Nah, this man.
Ever since I got this port in my chest, it's really hard for me to bowl.
How many 300s have you bowled?
4.
Yeah, this man's bowled 4 300s. Yeah. And he's talking about, I'm not that good. And we'll be the entire time we do these.
Right. So, all the feedback is great.
Yeah.
Seriously, even from the first time. So it's the first time we're going to actually have a video of everything.
I hope so.
That'll be sick.
I hope this works.
Yeah. Last time we had some camera malfunctions. Well, not even camera. My computer.
Yeah.
My computer decided to just wipe out the entire video. Mm-hmm. So we went all audio last time. So we're going to do everything we can to hopefully prevent that from happening.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on this little podcast studio.
I know.
Like a lot of time, a lot of money.
I saw all the teaser stuff. Like, I saw all the work that this
Yeah.
is.
We put a lot of work in. So I really hope the video can actually work. And then that sort of also leads me into my last point here. This podcast is funded and produced by Good Enough Garage. So if you guys do support us and you really want to help us continue to do these, head on over to goodenoughgarage.com. We'll put the link in the bio or in the description of the video, and check out some of the merch that we have. Right now we're sort of in between drops, so it's kind of limited. But again, any support is really appreciated. And even if you don't do anything, just tell your friends about us, maybe share the podcast, anything like that. We truly appreciate all your guys' help. But
like all the merch is in back of the camera here.
Yeah.
I'm staring at some prime merchandise back there.
Yeah.
I see some jet tags.
Ooh.
I see license plate brackets. Let's see. Is there a hoodie over there? I see.
there might be a hoodie.
I
There's
see some beanies. I see
some
a
shirts.
dad hat, like what Mason's got on right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're always open to just talk or whatever too. So
Yeah.
reach out to us. Again, my name's Danny.
And then my name's Mason, and this is the Stay Good podcast.
Stay good.
Thanks, guys.